What's going on, everybody? So today we're going to be talking about Elder Scrolls Online's newest chapter, which is, of course, Blackwood. And wow, it's been a lot of fun. I put in about, I would say about 40 hours so far in on Blackwood. I have played it on PS5. I played the PS5 version, and I've played mostly on PC. And so most of that 40-hour time ever since it came out has been spent within the Blackwood zone doing various different things within there. And yeah, so far it's been a lot of fun. And I think overall the TLDR is if you want companions, it's worth it. Yeah, so this is gonna be pros and cons. I'm not sure if I already said that, but the first thing here, companions, pros. Companions are seriously awesome. They have a lot more depth than I thought they would be. This isn't just a simple copy and paste from Skyrim. It is legitimately they took it from Skyrim and they built it up and give it a lot more depth and modernized it. So you can actually customize your companions' mounts and their outfit, and you could actually give them costumes and dye their costumes, and all the customization you could do on your character visually you could do on your companion. Unfortunately, this is a con I'm going to mention, and you know what? We're just going to throw out this con since it relates to this part of the customization. You can't put a helmet on them. I don't really know why. I guess they just want their face to show. But the thing is, I have Miri as my main companion, and she has the exact same face as another NPC that I saw in the world. Like literally the exact same face. Like there's this NPC that came up to me. I think it was like a Mages Guild thing or something. And she had the exact same face. So it's the same face. So it's like I don't know. Like do you I don't know. What us put helmets on him? It'd look a lot more badass if we did that. Um, yeah, that's my only problem with the cosmetic stuff. It has a lot of depth with cosmetics. You can also choose between three unique skill lines. Now, for the most part, they actually kind of do the same shit. Both of the companions, they do the same sort of thing. You have like a healing, a damage, and like a tanking line. Now, personally, I love turning Miri into just a fucking over like a beast ass healer, like being able to heal me. I have it kind of like a hybrid sort of setup, so you have the like Nightblade S skills going in, and she does a lot of damage, but then also she's able to heal me for quite a bit and stay alive very very easily considering she's ranged. And a lot of the time I'm playing a hybrid sort of setup between stamina and magicka. I know a lot of people don't really like that sort of setup, but personally for me, I find it to be the most amount of fun. I used to care about like metas and stuff in these kind of games, and nowadays I don't really give a fuck. I just play whatever I want to play. Um, and I fuck around a lot with builds in this game, like I really do, and it's a lot of fun. And I always find that the hybrid build suits me the most because I love switching between, like a staff and like a big ass two-handed axe or whatever. Um, yeah, so the XP gain has been a bit of controversy from what I've seen, and that the XP gain is actually really really slow. But the thing is with that is I think the XP gain is perfectly fine. And the reason why that is because it's account wide. Like you can go on another character, and that companion will be the exact same level. That individual companion. Not all your companions are not going to be the exact same level, but it's going to be the exact same as your other characters. So that's what I enjoy. I think dungeons should count towards their XP in some sort of way, because I go into like dungeons and all that, and obviously they're not with you because you're in a full group, and it kind of sucks how they don't count. But companions overall are much more useful than I thought they would be. And they're just a really awesome system. Once you get them going, once you get them some gear and their skills and stuff up, they turn into really nice companions to have out with you in the open world. Like they're really a nice, welcoming feature. And I believe they can also protect you while you're AFK. So if you need to go in an AFK in an area, they can actually protect you while you're there. Every ad that comes up or whatever, just those little fuckheads, they can protect you, which is super super nice. Yeah, I find them to be awesome. A little con with the companions though is the RNG on the gear feels a little low. You essentially just get them everywhere just from like killing enemies. It's a very very low drop chance to get a companion gear item. So this sucks in particular because looking for weapons for your companions could be a real pain in the ass. Like it took me a while to be able to get like a proper like restoration staff for Miri, which definitely like sucked ass. I did get a really cool like purple two-handed axe, which was really, really cool to have my companion in melee combat with me. But considering that they can be kind of squishy sometimes if you don't get their kit right. Um, it's probably best to have them at ranged a lot of the time that I find, but um, you know, I don't know. It's kind of frustrating the XP gain. I mean, you've probably seen in zone chat, at least if you play on PC. I'm not sure if the chat's usually that filled up in PlayStation stuff. There's people selling it for like I saw a guy sell some gear, some blue gear for like 80k gold, and it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, man, that is absolutely crazy. But yeah, the RNG needs some improvement, but other than that, the companions, the main feature of this chapter, is very, very good, and I'm actually surprised how good it was. Another one here, very, very minor thing, but the new city, Leowin, is really awesome. It just looks really cool. It's a nice homage. Um, and I just really love the layout of it. It's just fucking awesome. It's a really solid city. The crafting locations and everything are really close to each other. And, it's just really cool. I like Wayland, the whole design of it, and like the bell tower and the sort of low key castle sort of shit going on is really cool, and it fits my aesthetic really well. I just really love the look of Wayland. It's seriously awesome. And another thing here is the story. The story was pretty good. I've seen some people complain about it. Yeah, there was like some real what the fuck moments with the story, but overall it was really solid in my opinion. I did really enjoy it. As well as the voice acting is another pro is once again fantastic. They've definitely improved on their voice acting a lot. ESO is completely voice acted. There is no such thing as going up and reading text without voice acting. There's voice acting in every single area. So you would probably expect shit voice acting, but the only shit voice acting that I've personally seen is out of the Argonians. For some fucking reason, no goddamn person could do a solid Argonian voice. Like all of them suck ass. Um, and it's always really cringy when I hear an Argonian. It's like, ugh, fucking awful. I really don't like the way they sound. Some of the Khajiits sound a little fucking stupid. But like that Gideon governor, like mayor person, the Argonian. She had some real sketchy voice acting sometimes. Like she was pretty bad. But other than that, obviously you have like Evely, I think her name was, came back. I believe she was in another one before, another like story I never actually ended up playing, the one that she was in. But yeah, really charismatic, fun character to be with. I mean, she accompanies you basically throughout the entire story, and she's just a really like I said, really charismatic, fun, lighthearted character to be with. That I enjoyed hearing all the dialogue from her. She's a really awesome character, and I am really looking forward to seeing her in the future with different stories and all that. And other than that, obviously, there's like Sombrin and a couple of the Ambition characters. That's all I'm going to say about them. And they were kind of cool. There was some cool story there, but ultimately it ended up kind of feeling sort of shit. But I don't know. The story overall was pretty cool. Next thing here is the delves and public dungeons are really awesome, and also the side quests behind the delves, for the most part, are really, really fucking funny. I mentioned this in my last one. There was like this crow quest, which was absolutely hilarious. There was this other one where this like boss or this sort of like water like aqua figure thing, like basically fucking straight out of World of Warcraft polymorphed some of their some of like this girl's friends, and they turned into like frogs and shit, and it was absolutely hilarious. I fucking loved it. And I think it even like glitched out at one point where the chick that was traveling with me was like a whole ass fucking frog when she was traveling with me, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? It glitched out. I actually had to go out of the delve and go back in, but it was a funny glitch, so that's a good glitch in my mind. And yeah, like I said, the side quests really awesome. I wish you could repeat them on the same character, because that crow one was fucking hilarious, man. That shit was absolutely amazing. But the delves themselves are really cool. I think there's only there's like 6 fucking delves in Blackwood, which is really, really cool. A lot of delves to explore, 2 public dungeons. And most of them are really solid. They have a lot of visual differences. And there's just one, I'm just gonna say it has like the Fighter Guild side quest. I mentioned this in my last video about it. Really awesome delve, man. That shit was so cool. I felt like there's a little too much doors going on, but it's a really cool delve. I really enjoyed it. And another thing here, some dailies, but not too much. I actually really like dailies in MMOs, but when there's like too much, I don't really like them. There's like a couple dailies. Obviously, you have the usual crafting writs, and then you have those two dailies, which one of them has you go and do a delve and then collect some things from said delve, and then the other one has you go kill a world boss out in the world, which in turn makes the world bosses and everything very very active in Blackwood, and also has what was it? Well, yeah, I will say also the world bosses are usually pretty active because they drop some of the gear and stuff that you'll need at like end game and all that. But there was also it has you go and like collect specific things around said world boss as well. So it's not like too much dailies, but they give you some good shit. And I really enjoy doing them for the most part every day. And another thing here is the Oblivion portals. Now, I think people expect too much out of public events. I've seen a lot of people talk about how, these Oblivion portals are not very fun. They're like Zergfests, and they're mechanically kind of weak. Welcome to public events. Like, that's how they are in MMOs. Like, they're supposed to be this open world, widely accessible, chill content. They're never supposed to be anything that challenging. That's how these sort of things are. Like, you look at world bosses, they're not challenging at all. It's just massive Zergfest. That's how this shit goes. That's how it is in MMOs. Like, that's how the open world content usually is. And if you don't like that, well, there's plenty of hardcore content to play in this game. I mean, for the most part, this game is actually like super fucking easy. So I could definitely see why you'd quit and go to like Final Fantasy or like World of Warcraft. But yeah, they're pretty fun. They're like basically like public dungeons in a way, and they're just, I don't know, they're fun. They're not like amazing, but they're cool. They're definitely better than dolmens. I'm not really that big of a fan of dolmens. Also, another thing though, that is kind of frustrating. They never tell you where they are, so people in the chat will say where it's at usually, which is kind of frustrating. I don't like when they do that because you have to rely on people in the chat, and it's just really fucking annoying. Something that I hated about Destiny 1 back in the day is you had to go on this fucking like weird app, and you had to like go on a public event tracker app on there, and it was really fucking annoying back in the day. Where in Destiny 2 they ended up adding, like in 2017, like they had actually added it on the map, and I just like that system a lot better. But yeah, once a fucking again, they goddamn nail it with the music. The music is absolutely fantastic in Blackwood, especially the Leyawind theme is like seriously stuck in my head at all times. Da 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 da. It's seriously amazing. The main menu theme is a fucking banger. They really nailed it the past few years with the main menu theme. I mean, every single main menu theme has been amazing. This is probably my new favorite. This one and the Morrowind one were fantastic, but I also really like the Elsewhere and Greymoor ones. Those are really great too. I actually never even played Greymoor. I've just heard the theme a few times, and I really enjoyed that one. Although I do have Greymoor unlocked now, I probably should go and play that. But yeah, really awesome system. I love the music. The next thing here is going to be, like I said earlier, the voice acting. I said that earlier. I don't know why I had this written down again. Voice acting is great. Let's get into the cons. So the new zone itself is very visually bland in comparison to other chapters. So Skyrim was really cool. Obviously, it was Skyrim, so a lot of us are going to feel nostalgic about that. Morrowind looked incredible. I loved Wardenfell, or whatever the fuck it's called. Looks really awesome. Somerset visually is fucking amazing. I love the high elf architecture going on. Really badass. I love that place. Elsewhere is fucking sick. It looks amazing. It's this big ass desert. Blackwood is like woods and a bit of swampy shit going on. It's really boring in comparison to some of the other shit we had. It's really fucking boring. And I just don't like it at all. The look of it, The content itself in it is fun, but the look of it is just fucking bland, man. Besides Leyawind, it's real fucking bland. Another thing here, but despite the fact that companions are awesome, it replacing a new class feels kind of underwhelming. Like, you're paying $40 and you're getting companions, which is awesome, but you're not getting a new class. And, every other year you're supposed to get a new class. Like, we got the Warden and then the Necro, and then we should have gotten something now. Um, but no new class. I'll probably get it next year, but it just, that kind of feels sort of underwhelming. I mean, like I said, personally, I love the companions, but, no new class is just kind of eh. And also, two companions, that's it. That feels kind of rough, and you can't put a helmet on them either. It's sort of a nitpicky thing, but it adds up, no new class, and only two companions, man. That feels kind of rough. You have Bastion and Miri, and they're actually kind of similar in a lot of ways, which is kind of frustrating as well. And I will also say, once you like originally unlock companions, they fucking suck. And for some odd reason, they love drawing the aggro of the enemy. Like, they draw the aggro incredibly easily, which you would think is a good thing, but it's like they die so fucking easily. Like, a lot of the time, once you gear them up and kit them right, they could actually turn into really unstoppable machines. They can turn into like big time tanks because they have lots of damage mitigation and healing. But overall, they are very, glassy at first. And that's kind of frustrating. When you have an AI companion in the game, you usually can't make it so they die really easily because they just feel fucking useless. I think World of Warcraft Vanilla had that problem with their ranger pets or the guardian pets. What am I Guardian, fucking hunter. I'm thinking of like fucking goddamn Guild Wars when I say the Ranger, but I think that's what happened in Vanilla and Classic with their pets for the hunters that they sucked. I'm not really sure, but it kind of feels like that in a way. Except once you gear them, you can actually get them to be really good. It's just they suck at first, which can feel really frustrating. You go up to a boss in like a delve or in a story mission, and they draw the aggro so easily and die fucking instantaneously, and it feels like shit. And I'm not really that big of a fan of that. Another thing here, it is kind of minor, it's kind of ironed out by now, but some of the bugs and server lag is really bad. Like, I'll be hitting an enemy and then, like the health like pauses on it, like I'm not doing any damage to it, and like 5 seconds later, it'll fucking just randomly die. Now I know this isn't lag on my part because I get like 450 down. Like I have really good internet speed. Like my internet speed is like really good for where I live. And it's definitely not a problem on my end. It is for sure server lag. And because like I said, I never experienced any lag on my part in any game. Like I haven't in years because of how good my fucking internet is. So, yeah, some of the server lag can get really annoying. It was much worse at launch. I will say that it has gotten better. But it is also, like I said, the bug with that Delve NPC was really annoying. And I think people overreact a little bit on how buggy the game actually is, but I have definitely experienced a few bugs. Not any crashes or anything yet, but not anything really game breaking, but some real like annoying shit going on. It's just really annoying. And hell, the whole lag problem couldn't even be like a server thing. It actually might just be a bug. I don't really know. Overall, though, I think what really comes down to it is the companions. Like the companions is really the main thing here, and if you want companions, I would definitely buy this. For me personally, I think I've gotten my money's worth for the amount of time and fun that I've gotten out of this expansion, as well as being able to get those companions to be able to go and explore the rest of the world with, is really fun to me. And I'm not. Can you take the companions into arenas? By the way, I don't really know. I would assume probably not. But maybe you can. I know they're like solo activities, but I don't know. I'll have to look that up if you can or not. Because that would actually be really interesting if he could. But other than that, man, it's fucking solid. Like I think it's really, really solid. It definitely is not as good as the other, expansions that we've gotten. I think Morrowind and Elsewhere are for sure definitely better. I've played the hell out of those two. The ones that I didn't play a whole lot of was Somerset and Somerset and Greymore. I actually played a little bit of Somerset, and I literally played none of Greymore at all. Because I was addicted as fuck to Guild Wars 2 for the longest time. But yeah, overall, I would honestly give this probably about a 7 out of 10. I think it's barely worth the $40 price tag if you like the companions. And personally, I do. I think they're very, very cool. And I think you should definitely get it for the companions. Like, it's seriously awesome. But if you get it, of course, you should play the content itself. You should explore the world and you can get that 100% map completion. Hell, I haven't even gone 100% yet. I still need to go fight the lore books and a couple of the sky shards I still need. Thank God for add-ons, because if that wasn't the case, I'd have so many fucking Sky Shards left. Um, but yeah, obviously, this is just a review on the expansion. This wasn't going to be talking about the core problems of ESO because that is kind of irrelevant when I'm making a review on said expansion. I would make a whole video on ESO with its problems and stuff, which I actually did a week ago. So overall, I feel like the game is fucking awesome. This chapter is really awesome, and yeah, 7 out of 10, and yeah, peace.